Grants Pass, Oregon, the city where it's illegal to be homeless. Oh, you got trespassed from the park.
Like in Oregon?
For everything out here.
I've gotten like 30 tickets in the past year and a half, $300 a pop.
They don't care if we live or we die.
If you can't pay, you can't pay. I think they should buy bus tickets and ship them up to Salem.
I have people drive by and say, kill yourself.
They make you feel like a criminal for being homeless.
With $295 fines for
No, I am tomorrow.
anyone caught sleeping in public,
Government,
and with
exactly.
repeat offenses punishable by 30-day park
Great
bans and
country.
up to 30 days in jail. In 2018, a group of homeless people sued the city of Grants Pass, claiming these laws criminalize them for being homeless and just trying to go to sleep. As this case has been escalated to the Supreme Court to try to answer if this camp ban is unconstitutional, what do
What do you do with homeless people if they can't sleep on the side of the road?
the locals here think
I guess they could sleep in the woods.
about all this?
What are your thoughts on the fines for the homeless people out here in Grants Pass? They're great. They're great?
I am so sick and tired of not being able to take my son to the freaking park anymore without finding needles and seeing people overdosing in the park.
Yeah, so like his brother's not homeless. I get it. Like, some people are homeless. They might not be drug addicts, but like, with large populations of homeless people comes large increases in violence, drug usage, SAs, R words, etc. You become homeless nowadays. So we were watching this thing about homelessness on the stream before, and there's 3 different stages of homelessness. Different types of homelessness.
So I would like to see all of that cleared up and gone.
Our kids can't go play at the parks anymore without finding drug paraphernalia, without being harassed by homeless people. There's so many mountains around here. There's so many other places that they could stay.
Can't offer somewhere so far in the woods that they can't get to the community resources that they need. Where exactly do you expect them to go?
Where do you think they should go?
That's exactly what I'm saying. There
I
isn't
see.
a place for them to go.
What do you think the fines do?
It discourages them to be here.
Yeah.
I think there should be situations to house them, but there's what you'd call,
Is this in Oregon? Yeah.
I would say, professional homeless that don't want.
What are the different stages? It was like, one stage is like someone who's in between homes and is maybe sleeping in their car or like bouncing from like apartment to apartment, or maybe, have to sleep a couple nights on the road, but they have a job, they're working on it. And that was homeless by actual financial. So like, if you're just broke and a drug addict, you're not homeless because you're broke. You're homeless because you're a drug addict. And then there was second one was like a refugee homeless type person. And then the third one was like, you just don't have any hope for yourself. You're either a drug addict, you're lazy, you're living off the government, etc. What up, ED? What up, Liebe?
Want to be home, want to live in a home. They don't want to live by the rules of society, and that's fine if you want to do that, but not in my backyard.
Let's say I'm living in a tent and I got $1,000 worth of fines.
Well, you don't have the money, you don't have the money.
Okay. We in survival mode out here.
Yes, we
We're on
are.
Frontier Oregon Trail, baby.
That's right.
Do you think they should be allowed to sleep?
To be honest with you, you know what I think?
Talk to me.
I think they should buy bus tickets and ship them up to Salem. Help
Real.
wanted all over the place. Why don't they just go to work?
Do you think finding the homeless people in Grants Pass will help them become not homeless?
No, not at all. Because they ain't going to be able to pay their fine.
A lot of these people are just low income. It's, $1,500 to rent a 1-bedroom apartment.
Yeah, and now in anybody who won this Grants Pass, and anybody who wants to like turn their life around, I will say with how the government is inflation and all this stuff, it is very hard to get into a home. Now, I don't think it's very hard to get started. Like, some people don't even start or try this. But what up, Sweet Brown? What up, Sammy?
How do you expect someone who's making, like, say, $900 on Social Security to rent a 1-bedroom apartment?
Do you think anyone can end up in a tent out here in Grants Pass?
I'm a month away from being homeless.
Do you think finding people in a tent is cruel and unusual?
Yeah, that's a slippery slope.
There has to be some kind of solution. Pick a place where they're not in everybody's way.
Or find a localized park or a place like that we can have housing for them. Like, I've gone to Riverside Park and I caught some dude smoking out of a bong that was actually heroin.
You don't smoke heroin out of a bong, dummy.
All right, we've talked to a lot of people that live out here. Question is, what will go down at the Supreme Court? What is the precedent
He's lying.
that will be set out here? But what are the homeless people?
You can though, but how? Because in a bong, you gotta light something on fire, and in a heroin, you gotta light up and turn it to a needle. either inject.
Getting these
It wouldn't
fines,
work,
think
bro.
about all this. With
You
countless
would
tents
just
in
waste your
plain
head.
sight right at the park entrance, are these people getting fined for sleeping out here? And what happens if they don't pay their fines? I met up with Brock, a vocal member of the community advocating for clean, safe, drug-free parks, and actually
Damn, bro. Yeah, the needles everywhere are a bit scary.
has a son suffering from drug
What up,
addiction
DC?
living on these streets. Okay, so there are plenty of tents out here. Looks like we've reached the park where shit's going down. You were gonna show me some signs.
These are just the signs that we show during our rallies that we have on the streets.
They call you the park narc?
A park narc sometimes. F&F
Yeah.
Fold.
Okay, so Brock, you live here in Grants Pass,
Yes.
and you have a son somewhere out here in the parks?
Yes, my son is one of these campers in the park.
Okay.
Yeah. His name is Jack. Jack Spurgeon.
Damn.
Okay, and how did Jack end up on the streets out here?
He fell into drugs at an early age, around 19.
Damn, Chad, he's exposing his son right now.
He's 37 now. He's rolled around. He spent 2 seasons in Portland. He just got back from spending 5 months in the Tenderloin, San Francisco. So he's been through it.
But he's not living with you.
No.
Why not?
The drugs.
Okay.
The vast majority of these people need rehab first.
Jeez.
Okay, giving them a place to live, putting money in their pockets isn't going to fix anything until they fix the drug problem.
And have you offered your son, hey, would you like to get into rehab or get clean,
Yes.
and then you come back to dad?
Yeah, we were just talking about it yesterday. He's just not ready. Most of the people aren't. If you offer them rehab, most of them will turn it down.
So
You know, I
fix
lay
it.
in bed
They really do turn it down.
every night
For real,
wondering
Bill.
if I'm going to see my son again. I love him so much, you know. I do work him. I'm a tile contractor, so if he's able to work, I work him and put some money in his pocket. Of course, he spends it on drugs.
Sure.
It's a complex problem.
What do the people living out here think the solution is? So I'm curious if you've been fined for sleeping out in these parks.
Many times.
Have you been shuffled from one park to the next?
Damn.
Yep. Every week.
How did you end up out here?
I lost my job during COVID and been trying to play catch up ever since, which it's kind of hard when you get $300 tickets every day. So
How many summative like ticket costs do you have right now?
I've gotten like 30.
What is she doing? What is she the thing she's carrying, if you look at the bottom, it's busted. Is she just carrying around a busted water bottle, like water container? She's just wandering around the park.
30 tickets in the past year and a half at $300 a pop. You do the math.
Is it kind of your belief that it's become
Oh, it's not broken. I thought it was broken. You do the math. Is she pregnant?
a crime to be poor out here?
No. Look at us like we're street trash. And
Well, chat, is there a such thing as street trash? If there was a such thing as street trash in our society, would she be street trash? People love fuddles. I don't think she is. Well, these people are better than when Tyler went to Las Vegas and saw the homeless people there. Those homeless people were insane.
And really, we're human beings. Like some of the things they come up with to write tickets for, it seems like they're making it up right as they go, you know? Today, I actually did get a ticket.
Is that a tube for funneling gasoline she has in her hand?
Exclusion of the park, which means I'm kicked out of this park for
What
30
up,
days.
Chloe?
What will happen if you don't leave
Then I get arrested for trespassing.
and you end up in jail?
Mm-hmm.
Has that happened before?
Yep.
Do you use drugs out here?
No.
No. So Brock, that seems like a pretty situation, right? What are your thoughts on that? Because she's sober, she's not using. Do you think that's a solution to her circumstance?
They're used to drugs that causes that.
No, I mean, it's not sustainable. I mean, where are they going to get money to pay these fines?
I agree. It doesn't make sense to me. And this game of
In their house, you.
musical chairs, as these
Yeah,
people move
but
their tent from one park to the
that's what you go to
next, as they
jail
collect
for.
tickets they'll never be able to pay off, is surprisingly quite common. Okay, let's see what we got.
The same one I got before.
Okay, that's pretty official looking.
I've been fined for illegal camping, I guess they call it.
Get fines if
Illegal camping.
our tent's too big. Mine's apparently too big. $100. That's not $100.
Okay, $100
Not like that,
for scheduled.
She's got a lime Rita. Hell yeah. She's getting drunk. Imagine being a homeless person. You wake up outside in some random small town. You're like, I need to find a couple of dollars and get me a tall boy. And you just wander around all day shouting shit, trying to scrounge up money. Illegal camping. It honestly sounds kind of fun.
To controlled substance, just setting up
Starting
a tent out here, you got a fee for how much?
Like $250.
Did you pay that fee?
No, I have not yet.
How many times have you been fined?
I probably got about 20,
Almost, to be
25
honest.
tickets
My life is
in the
fun.
last 6 months, something like that.
$1,000 worth?
Oh, yeah, over that.
Art Hoff had a month there where he kicked me out of 8 parks in 7 days.
8 parks in 7 days. That
And it
means
was-
you're banned from one park, you gotta go to the next.
Homeless people
How
who
would
beg
you
out at a
plan on?
Walmart, then come inside and buy cigs and tall boys. I mean, bro, what else are you gonna buy if you're homeless? Like, what else are you gonna do to pass the time other than a cigarette and a tall boy?
I'm paying that fee if at all.
I have no idea. I'd have to like ask for some help or payment plans or something.
Are you using now?
Payment plans for $250. I mean, I'm not rich, and I mean, I there should be payment plans, but that's just sad. Breaks my heart.
Here right now?
May also not be homeless. Panhandling's
like, not
different.
large.
Fentanyl?
A little bit, not much.
Just using a little Fenty here and there, not much though. Just
Do most people use that here, or is it kind of mixed?
It's mixed.
Mixed?
Yeah.
I'm sure you know this, but fentanyl's pretty deadly, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
It is.
That doesn't concern you?
It does.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
Do you carry Narcan?
I do. Yeah, I mean, it was concerning, really, really concerning for a while, and then I started not overdosing. I don't know why. I don't know if that's tolerance or
How many times have you died?
I don't know. I guess 8 or 9.
8 or 9?
after a while, I stopped overdosing. I guess it was just tolerance. So she did fentanyl so many times. She overdosed so many times. Isn't that crazy that people have just like, oh yeah, I just. Surprisingly, almost people tell me to fuck off when I offer them food instead of money real. Take the food. Damn.
8
Goodness.
maybe.
That doesn't scare you at all?
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, it was scaring me, but
Shelters out here you could go to sleep in?
there's the mission. Like, I don't, buy into that. Like,
Not a big
not
fan?
buy into, but
It's like the Christian stuff and that sort of thing. You're not.
I do believe in Jesus. Like, I love the Lord. Like, but I just didn't like the way it felt. Like certain treatment towards me that I don't like. It doesn't relate with me.
I'm not religious. Going to a Christian-based place is just not my forte.
What is something you'd like people in Grants Pass to know about your situation?
Survives and does it again. Yeah, bro. Like 8 times overdosing, you're still like, I'm gonna try fentanyl again. This is Oregon, Chloe.
Everyone out here.
Some of these people have jobs. Some of these people aren't even on drugs. People accuse them of being drug addicts and, just homeless bums, and some of them aren't.
Have you been offered treatment, and do you even use anything?
I do.
What do you use?
Fentanyl.
Have you overdosed at all?
Yes, I have.
How many times?
Too many to count.
Yeah. Does that scare you?
You would think it would, but it's more of a peaceful thing.
When you overdose?
Yeah. I think it's just more of the fact that people not.
What the fuck? This is insane. Fentanyl is such an insane drug, bro. The high is worth almost dying. The high is worth not knowing if you're gonna die or not. That's how much they crave that high. That's how crazy fentanyl high is.
Necessarily lazy. I just think they don't think there's any hope. There's no hope. Everybody's lost like motivation to do anything.
Did you start with fentanyl, or did you kind of work your way up?
I started with heroin when I was 13. My dad shot me up with heroin when I was 13. And then I've been an opiate addict ever since.
Jeez.
Damn. What the fuck, L father? His dad used so much fentanyl in hospitals. No, for real. I mean, it's a wonderful drug if it's used properly, applied properly. Crazy poor kid. No, for real. That's gone through that. That's so sad. Not fentanyl or any drug addiction for that matter. It's no joke.
Hey, brother. Kind of a similar story to your son, it sounds like.
Similar story to my son, yes.
How does it
You shot heroin in your son?
make you feel?
Like I want to give him a hug.
Yeah.
Tell him to get cleaned up.
Yeah.
I'd be very
What we pulled off the ball field last weekend
Whoa.
at Morrison. This is
really
what
bad.
kids you're going to find in the park. And they don't mean to all the time.
What up, lunch?
When you get high, you don't realize what you're dropping, and they don't even realize the problems they're causing.
I'm always afraid he's going to pick up. Just a tad bit could make him overdose.
You were saying like, hey,
Damn, yeah, bro. Imagine walking your dog in an area that's got like all these needles and shit.
yeah, I kind of agree.
Yes,
These
it is,
needles
yeah,
are on the
man.
kids' field, but where do we put them right if they're locked up?
Well, there are disposable units in the bathrooms.
Okay.
But
Oh,
they lock the
hell.
bathrooms up. Some of the homeless are trying.
Well, maybe that they should only use their meth and fentanyl and heroin during bathroom hours.
They're very, very childish.
Why can't they use fentanyl during bathroom hours? That's what I want to know.
They do stupid things in retaliation.
What are we seeing? Just like spiteful needle tosses? Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
It's carelessness. There's probably 15% of the people out here that aren't responsible, but they're just, it looks like all of us.
It seemed like the irresponsible drug users in the
There are always bear restrooms. Bear restrooms? Like for bears? Oh, near restrooms.
homeless population, leaving drug needles and foil in the parks, have caused the locals here to be fed up with the entire homeless population. But the question is, how many of these people want to get out of this situation, and what's the biggest thing holding them back?
It's like they don't want us to be here at all. They don't want to help us get up. You can't get a job if you don't have an address.
I mean, bro, like, I understand, like, they want help, but, like, dude, like, what do you want us to do, bro? Like, bro, the people who, like, still have houses need help. Like, we need help keeping our houses. The people who, like, still, like, I don't know, bro. You gotta help yourself a little first.
You can't shower every day. If you don't have a job.
True. Like, at the end of the day, it really is homelessness is such a hard problem to solve. Like, there's so many people arguing, there's so many solutions, but also have cons, this. My water bill's behind. Ben still owes on his taxes, bro. The IRS is coming up for Ben. He's gonna get locked away in the Fed penitentiary. It's real. So everybody's struggling for real.
You can't make money if you.
Like, I don't hate or feel bad for homeless people, but then again, like, my only thing, some people have such harsh words, and I hate for homeless. Like, if you're a bad homeless person, as in, like, you're just a bad person, you have to see homeless, go fuck yourself. But the only thing I'll say about homelessness, I feel like a lot of people could maybe try out. But can't we all?
You can't make money, you can't get a place. If you don't have a place, you can't get a job. People get fined for everything out here. You have trash around your tent. You have.
Would this be considered trash, like this Pepsi right here?
Yeah.
If a cop was pissed off, let's
Yeah.
say?
And I'm drinking it.
Okay.
Your tent's too big. I don't know why they come up with all these rules and regulations just to make it more difficult.
Does that guy have a solar panel right there?
Cool.
Okay.
I mean, and honestly, they spend more money on making it difficult for people than they would helping people.
Clearly, a $300 fine is not.
Been on the run, and the thing is, bro, it's proven time and time again. You can't just give things to people who didn't work for it or didn't earn it, who don't have jobs, who aren't going to be contributing members of our society. Sure, it would be amazing to give all these homeless people, here's you, a one-bedroom apartment, all to yourself with blah, blah, blah. It's just not going to work. It's good to remember how we have it.
Not helping these people get out of homelessness, but it might help push these people to move out of Grants Pass and go be homeless in cities like Portland and San Francisco that are more friendly and accepting of tent towns and open-air drug use. But confused why the homeless here continue to live in a city that clearly does not like them, Brock took me to another park down the street where a major tragedy took place that permanently changed the city's relationship with the homeless population.
All right, Matt, thank you. At our top story tonight, Grants Pass residents are demanding action from the city.
She a baddie.
After a man was killed last night during a shooting at Riverside Park.
So this is the heart and soul of Grants Pass, this park.
This is the heart and soul of the town. Damn. That's kind of sad.
Right there.
This whole park.
This whole park.
Yeah.
And there's a bit of a division, right? So behind us, we have the tent set up right here. And then over here, families, kids, chilling, no tents at all. And why did they decide to split it in half and say, all right, you can have this half?
It was because of the shooting. Yeah, and enough people showed up at the city hall meeting to demand some sort of change.
Look,
but all they did was took the tents out. They didn't take the drug use out.
All right, I just want to emphasize when we come in here, there's no needles, no foil, but they took out the doors on every stall. So if you're going to take a dump out here, you're doing it wrong. You got zero privacy. That's kind of funny. And this is new right here?
Fairly new. They put them up a while ago.
These is for the needles.
Yes. It's weird that you would have to have those at a park, huh?
It's unfortunate.
A children's park, right here.
So I guess the question is, do you
That's sad.
think finding homeless people...
The criminals running property management companies, corporate board members, they could do better. Employees joke if there's a problem. Bro, Turkey, you better be quiet, bro. The government's gonna come crack down. The pigeons outside your house are watching you, bro. They're gonna come take you away, bro. They're gonna lock you away in Azkaban. You're gonna get tortured by dementors, bro. Can't actually fix problems. Something but no, for real, lunch, like any like you can give a man a fish and he'll eat, but he'll be hungry after. Teach a man to fish, he'll never be hungry again. I know I didn't say that right. I'm on all the watch lists.
People sleeping on public land is cruel and unusual, because that's what it's been escalated to the Supreme Court. So,
like money?
Money. If we
You
got
guys
to
get what I
tent,
mean.
$300.
From where?
It's a fair question.
But
Bro, Ben's on the run for not paying his TikTok taxes. It's they're on the run for two very different things. He got all those TikTok wide-eyed worsties and tiny dinies, and he didn't pay the taxes on them and spent them all on Mexican food and snacks. Now the Uncle Sam's coming after him.
Basically, this park's really clean.
I haven't noticed anything on this side at all.
Right?
Do you think we'll see any of that on that side?
All those tiny dinies.
Maybe, because there's people living there.
Yeah, all the gifts were deductible, but they weren't. Tiny dinies were not deductible.
For y'all, we're trying to talk to people about that
No,
sign
but
that's basically, finding people who are homeless out here
Ben.
camping.
I got
You got
fined for my tent being too big and for steak
Fuck
seeing
the man. Now he's fucking men.
in the ground, and I never even got a warning first. It was $250. So what they do is they send
That poor guy in the bag wants to talk to so bad, and this lady's just talking over him. He's like, hey, hey.
it like to collections or whatever, and like, how do we make court? I'm out here just trying to feed myself.
My question is, if you're homeless, down on your luck, trying to get back on your feet, where else do you sleep?
Exactly, that's the problem.
Do you think this city is treating homeless people like trash?
Absolutely. I've never been treated so bad. They don't care if we live or we die. Because it's just
Chat, should the government care if someone who doesn't pay taxes, who doesn't help society in any way, should the government care if they live or die? Should our government have an insane moral compass? And if so, like, what should be the extent of it? You got a sick cruiser, dope lunch.
it's another way to entrap us and
That's a hard question, because, like, you can care as a person, and, like, we can have all kinds of privately funded corporations and this and this. Good EV. Double-edged sword. Well, obviously it's not moral, but, like, we're asking the government to be moral at this point, because for political purposes, they want them around. But I'd say yes.
enslave us in the debt system.
Every 3 days you gotta move. No.
We should kick you out of the USA. I mean, I would be careful with your words.
Stability to.
Because, like, at the end of the day, what do you mean contribute to society? Like, contribution to society is me someone who's like a doctor, someone who works in like the factory industry. Like, yeah, like I'm not contributing to society. I'm probably a net negative on society, and like the government probably spends more money keeping me in this country than I pay back into the system. I contribute to tee-hees and silly jokes, and probably like most jobs in the day probably do. Like, it's kind of crazy if you think about it. If like most of these corporations like fired like 50% of their workforce and then turned it all into machines and stuff, like our country would make way more money. Like there wouldn't be as much, like, it'd be insane. Pay taxes and that's fine. Okay, better.
To get employment or anything good
Not some rich douche leeching off of workers.
out of this.
I have people drive by and say, kill
think-
yourself.
I'm only
I think the
17.
What the fuck? That's a kid. Second of all, I think the biggest thing that you can do to contribute to society is vote your conscience at your state, local, political, all the elections, all the different levels and tiers. That's all you can do.
From my point of view, I'm like,
Their parents.
okay, adults are going through whatever they're going through, but then there's also like us kids that are living with our parents that are going through all these things, and we know that our parents are going through things, and like the police don't want.
Yeah, at some point they do have to choose for themselves if they want. Is she cooking meat on a heater? Like ground meat in a pan on a heater? That's actually crazy. She's 17, living in a tent with a pan, cooking meat on a heater. 17. Do we need you? Yeah, well, you can say that, but what if that's like your little sister, your little brother who's a drug addict?
Want to like get that.
Like
They don't want to
ground
understand
beef.
that
Let me get a bite.
adults do have like stresses. It's hard to
Is that
live
a
out
bag of weed in the bag?
here and pay for an apartment with 2 kids and God knows how many ever animals you have. At this point, it's if you don't want to stay in your parks, then I guess y'all need to like do something about it. Like make a fucking big building for a fucking shelter for everybody. Like,
Hello, I just spoke to your daughter.
I think it's bullshit.
Talk to me.
It's like, well,
Well, I see the problem. A mother who's made a decades of bad choices. That's not the girl's fault. It's her fault. She's such a pretty princess.
Like, you know, I can
She's
understand like people at like Morrison and like the parks that like the kids go to,
Sure.
and Fruitdale, you know, it's out by the school. Like I can understand that, but like over here, it's like, what the point? You're not doing nothing with this over here. You know, as long as everybody would keep their cleaned up and everything, like I don't think it should be a problem.
Sure.
You know, I'm a mom,
Yeah.
single mom with 2 kids. Like, shit, dude, it sucks being out here, yeah, but it's like, fuck, man, like, what are you supposed to do? Like, I'm not a druggie, and we ended up here.
You're not a druggie. Inflation sucks. My heart hurts. Damn shit. That poor girl didn't even get a. She can definitely know like get out of it and make a better life for herself. This girl has a chance, but her mom didn't give her like a real fighting chance. Like a good foundation.
Here because my ex lost his job and everything, and so we ran a business in Indiana and Illinois. Like
A little heartless. I mean, I don't think you're being heartless. I mean, it's just your opinion.
I don't live like this. I've lived in 4 or 5 bedroom
I
houses.
mean, it's that I definitely don't think you can like just ship everyone out who's not contributing to society. Like that would probably be like a net negative. Probably like rumble. Bad.
This is most of my life, so
That's probably some like Adolf Hitler type shit, I would say. The way she ran a business, yeah, probably a prostitution business. She probably let dudes run through her. Don't have one, unfortunately, kid go through mistakes. Bro, this mom is gone through it. She's probably been out in the streets since she was a teenager. A lot of homelessness is a vicious cycle from parents passed down to kids.
you know, it's like to have my kids out here, they're spoiled, rotten turds, and people are like, well, you're not homeless. Well, no, because we don't dress that way and we don't carry ourselves that way.
No, who the fuck is saying that? Who the fuck is saying, oh, you're not homeless?
Just because you're homeless doesn't mean you have to carry yourself like a piece of shit.
Real, I agree with that.
$300, you could like.
Like, I agree that, like, if you're homeless, you don't have to carry yourself like a homeless person. Girl, who says you don't look homeless? Yeah, who's lying to you?
Rent a place to camp, you know?
Sure.
Yeah, but you know what? The homeless make themselves look bad because look at this. I mean,
Yeah, that's true.
you know, like needle caps and homeless people make themselves look bad.
It seemed like there was a cultural divide within the homeless camps of people genuinely trying to get out of this situation and reintegrate back into working society, and others content with
I love
using
the
drugs
Breaking
and
Bad
living
clips.
free of responsibility on the streets.
Question for you. I see you're moving your stuff. Did they recently sweep your
culture.
tent?
They moved because my tent was 1 foot bigger than it was supposed to be.
Okay.
Like, yeah, because it's my whole life here. I'm moving around constantly.
This is my whole life. Well, to be fair, it's not a lot. You are homeless, so you don't got nothing else to do. Maybe moving would be fun. Fresh air. Breath air. God, my list is coming back. 06.
Losing stuff, forgetting
my
stuff, people
God.
getting stuff, you know.
Yeah.
I'm just trying, and I'm actually out here working, so.
He literally has it all stacked in like a tiny red wagon. Like how RJ did in Over the Hedge. You know what I mean?
I have a job. And
Oh, you got trespassed from the park.
Oh no, it's definitely hard getting in when you go full homeless. Like I said, there's different levels of homelessness, but when you go full homeless and all this stuff, it definitely is hard.
Do you think the city
Say
hates
S-
homeless people?
S-
I
S-
also don't
S-
think they hate people, they
S-
misunderstand.
I'm gonna be real. This is fucked up. It's
Yeah,
pretty
else to do.
brutal, dude. If you're constantly in this cycle, spending 10 hours a day, resetting the day, what time do you have to spend figuring this out?
With Brock's strong push for clean, drug-free parks, hosting rallies every week to gain more local support and to raise awareness
Never
for
go
the cause,
full
I was both
homeless.
saddened and surprised when we found this in the park.
Jack, that's my son right there.
Whoa. Yeah. This is unplanned.
Yeah, it's unplanned. I kind of had a figure he was here.
Hey, my name's Tyler.
Tyler,
Good to meet you.
sorry.
No, you're good. How you doing, man? Your dad showed me around the parks out here.
What do you think?
Nice parks. How long you been in this tent setup?
I mean, a few days. We get moved around a lot, so.
Yeah. We've talked a lot about you today. Is there a world you move in with Pops one of these days?
Probably not.
What's keeping you out here?
Mostly addictions and disabilities.
What are you using out here?
Everything.
Yeah.
But I'd say fentanyl is probably the number one.
Pops, what are you thinking?
It tears me apart.
Yeah.
You know,
Damn, that's so sad. Like, this is a father-son duo, and they're just so used to it.
if he wants to get clean, though, my door is open. If he puts in the work, it still hurts. You know, you come out here, and I don't want him here.
Yeah.
I want him safe and in a house.
Yeah.
You know, he's smart and capable, but drugs keep him down.
I hear you.
And he's just not ready to really try to get off drugs.
What are your thoughts when you see Pops tear up a little bit over here?
No comment.
No comment.
Bro is media trained. He said no comment. What the fuck? Hug or anything?
Did it hurt you to see him hurt as well a little bit? Or are you kind of just doing your own thing?
There's so much drama in my life. I try to just think of the positive stuff.
Fair.
So I don't even think about my poor, grieving, heartbroken father. I just think about the high. To say no comment. That's
Well, it's
crazy.
been a pleasure to meet you, bro. I've heard a lot of good things about you. I hope you stay safe.
Well, this hurts, but you'll call me later tonight or something. We'll work out getting you to work tomorrow, and I'll put a little money in his pocket.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna let you guys have a moment, all right?
All right, thanks.
I'll stop bugging him. We'll push him to change. I feel like he said he fell into it when he was a teenager. His son did. So I feel like this has been a lifelong struggle. So, you know, he's probably like, he'll change when he's going to change. I've tried everything. You know what I mean? Because like that his son's like 40 years old. He's like, 50 or 60. So just watch this. What life is crazy.
All right. I know that was hard emotionally, I'm sure, but that interaction, I think, will hit home with a lot of people, right? That is your son.
Said his son's 37.
Yeah.
That could be your son.
Yeah. I'll tell you, when he disappeared into the Tenderloin for 5 months, I thought I'd never see him again. And he's disappeared for so many times. He'll be gone for 4 or 5 months. I wish he would want to be better.
With Brock's son Jack having a house.
Yeah, you gotta, like, bro, I've tried, and it's not always with homelessness or drugs, but like, I've tried to help people want to be better for themselves, to want more in their life, to want to work harder, to want a better relationship, to want, this, and you really can't force it on anyone, bro. You can't give anyone jack shit. Just give it to them, they'll lose it, they'll fall off, they have to want it.
House to move into when he's ready, yet still refusing to leave the streets due to his drug addiction.
Life is crazy, bro. You need to be put down.
It's clear the root cause of these people living on the streets is not always affordable housing or poverty, and for some, the drug use becomes a debilitating health crisis and lifestyles shackling them to the streets.
So here's the only time I don't feel bad for homeless people. Like if you're a father and a mother and you got your kids out there being homeless, and especially if you're on drugs, you're like, oh, I can't beat this drug addiction, bro. Like as a man, as a father, bro, go fucking chop some wood and sell wood on the side of the street until you can find a fucking job. Go build something with your hands. Go work. Go deliver fucking newspapers, something. Kids lock in. Like, yeah, I can't make excuses for dads. Like, especially like there's some dads out here like, oh, I'm trying to get it together. I'm like, bro, it doesn't matter. You don't have to try to get anything together. You need to fucking put food in the baby's mouth and be a stable father so they can be raised right.
Streets. But for the people out here who want to get out of the streets, unlike Jack right now, where can they even go? I headed to the Gospel Rescue Mission, one of the only...
What if I was just like linked my Twitch? I was like, you guys can go to twitch.tv/cynicalul.
Only homeless shelters in Grants Pass that's often criticized for having strict rules and for mandatory church attendance. While this is one of the only shelters in town largely funded by Christian donors, can anyone that's homeless come live here? And why is it so hated amongst homeless advocates?
I think some homelessness, like I said, is definitely. I think if you are homeless, it's a temporary thing, and if you're homeless for a long time, then it's a choice. There's temporary homeless, and then there's choice homelessness.
And people currently living on the streets.
Like everyone's gonna fall down, everyone's gonna hit rock bottom. Some harder than others. So I can understand losing your home and things like that happens, but you got to get back up on your feet.
I'm here with
Brian Botiller, director of the Gospel Rescue Mission in Grants Pass.
For real lunch, and like I don't understand how like you can have a kid and just be like, yo, this pill, this whatever this is more important. Feeding my baby, it's more important than putting a roof over my baby's head. Like I'm gonna inject heroin into a baby, like that one guy's father said he did. Like I just don't get how anyone could fucking think or do that.
So for 41 years, we have been working to help people leave homelessness. Really our
I don't want to say this because it's such like a fucking like liberal like SJW thing to say, but we really should be out here locking up bad fathers. Like if you're a shit dad, we should be locking your ass up. And not like, oh, you're disciplining your son, you're too strict. You're out here using and abusing drugs and you have kids that are malnourished and neglected. They should use extra time added on for the drugs. You should get some extra time. You should get some punishment.
Programs
don't deserve to be parents. They should put bad fathers in like a working mill where they have to work like making license plates or like leather boots, and then all the money that those boots and license plates makes goes to those kids.
Darren is really gunning for the guy that says, I want to leave homelessness behind, and with some effort, I can do it. And maybe for some of them it takes 2, 3, or 4 times. You know, I have a gal that just graduated. She's graduating this week with a sustainable income and a home, who was exactly like some of the people in your other videos. You know, when you're looking at the issues of addiction and stuff like that. But we always believe that people are capable of changing. Everybody that stays here kind of helps contribute to their stay in one way or another,
including a strict set of rules and responsibilities that everyone had to perform in this organization.
So I'm 100% on board with this church as long as there are no like weird religious things going on behind the scenes. If like they expect you to attend a sermon, which a church sermon, even if you're not religious, can be beneficial because like the Bible at its whole is morally pretty good. In a lot of ways. I mean, there's some homophobia and XYZ, but there is some pretty decent, like things to learn in the Bible, especially if you have like a rough moral compass, you're addicted to drugs, you're looking for redemption and forgiveness. Religion's probably, right up your fucking alley. And it's better than being a homeless bum. And then like having to listen to someone, having to do chores and having a job, and having someone having to listen to an adult and complete those things is how you're gonna get a job. Like, bro, like I remember it's so bad now. Like I see videos of kids in high school like beating their teachers up, whatever, not listening, not doing this, not doing that. And then when my last job I worked at, so when I first started working when I was 16 back in 2016, I wasn't 16 in 2016. I'm getting my math off. But anyways, when I got my first job, most of my coworkers were respectful. They got their job done. They didn't goof off, and they're like, I really need this paycheck. I got to pay for school. And then the last job I worked, which was almost a year ago at this point, I worked at a gym, and all my coworkers, bro, were like, I don't give a fuck. Like my manager would say something, they're like, nah, bro. And then like my manager would be like, yo, Sin and XYZ, we need you to go wipe down machines. And he'd be like, bro, why are you taking this so seriously? Like, I don't want to do this shit. Like he's so extra. Our manager, I'm just like, it's your job. You got paid to do a job. He's like, yeah, but like it's not that serious. I'm just like, bro, what? Like everyone's mind is like melted, become so mush. It really has.
His mission to reintegrate people into
dismal.
a job.
Yeah, work ethic, focus. Like, bro, I'm honestly worried.
Setting after they leave the shelter, but they offer some nice amenities, including
like I know I'm the worst person to say it because I'm a TikToker, streamer, YouTuber, but like I don't see people wanting to be doctors nowadays as much, or nurses, or firemen, or like engineers. Like everybody just trying to be on a boat in Miami this summer, and that's all they care about.
A gym, laundry
machine.
machine.
I mean, you guys are chill. Of course you do.
And a dining room that they help
high school nowadays
operate and maintain.
Well, I retired. No, I don't blame you, Osby. I would say, Osby, this is probably the worst. Like, and the thing is, I'm talking from a history perspective because when I was in school, I loved history. From a historical perspective, I think this is one of the worst times in history for our youth, ever. Like, I've never seen so much. Like, I'm not gonna lie. So obviously, I grew up in the late 2000 teens, right? As far as like my young formidable years. And when I was in high school, there was some racism and there was a lot of homophobia. And when I got to high school in 2016, I really saw it start to shift. And I would hear homophobia and racism and all this stuff all the time. And people wouldn't say anything. It was so normalized. You see in TV shows, this. And you saw it start to change. And I think around 2022, 2023, and pandemic and all this shit, and like TikTok, like, bro, I see hella racism and hella homophobia and all this craziness, and like nobody wants, like, bro, people have just like become like the most degenerate. It's Sodom and Gomorrah, bro. Literally, like, we gotta rain hellfire on people.
Them as rules.
It's so bad. It really is. And like the degeneracy, like what, like the, like, bro, some of the shit I hear these people are up to before they're even 18 years old, I'm just like, oh my god. Want to be furries? Well,
We just think of them.
to be fair, most engineering students I started college with, they said they were going for engineering, did end up being engineers.
And this is one of the rules right here. This is like, hey, listen, if you want to be a part of this,
we do need more furries. Yeah, we need them for the front lines if we ever have to invade China.
These guys get Jesus jammed down their throats, right? It's all happening.
Talk to me. You say that facetiously, obviously, but
no, it did.
That is the narrative to some folks.
Guess what? It's all church people.
I think, bro, like, kids coming up nowadays, maybe not all of them, but like, if you're in the age range of 7 to, I don't know, 18 right now, like, you're probably fucked. By the time you're 30, everyone around you is going to be committing so much crime, everyone's going to be so low intelligence, everyone's going to have, like, no attention span, you're going to be fucked. I'm going to be retired on a beach somewhere with, my wife, my grandkids will have to deal with me, my kids will have to deal with it.
They're paying your way here, man. They're I'm not asking them to, again, get dunked underwater or anything like that.
So no forced baptism.
Yeah, no forced baptism. But what they get is about a half hour to 40-minute Bible study in the morning, half hour to 40-minute Bible study in the evening. They can still make their own decision. I have plenty of people who enter here agnostic and leave here agnostic.
Sure. And as I saw this guy down the hall, I wanted to hear his honest review of living here.
So when did you come in here?
About 8 days ago.
Okay, this is fresh, right?
I enjoy it here. I enjoy all the guys here.
Brother, you don't have to say that just because I'm here, okay?
So cover your ears. Let me ask him. Yeah. So 8 days ago you came in here. Where'd you come from?
The street.
Okay.
I was thrown out of my house, and I'm doing wonderful. Okay. I can't believe it. How good I'm doing. How nice the people are here.
Now he's glazing.
And I enjoy it. I used to be on drugs. Since I've been here, I don't need them.
So you've been sober last 8 days or a little bit more?
8 or 9 days.
So you've just been raw dogging the sobriety?
Yeah.
He knew what raw dogging means? How does that old guy know what raw dogging means?
Actively sort of...
Hey, what you know about raw dogging, Grandpa?
I don't know.
I get along with the staff.
Yeah.
I get along with the inmates here. Well, inmates, I'm sorry.
But while this place might be a godsend, no pun intended, for those willing to
the inmates here, brother's been in jail before.
Comply with the rules and responsibilities it comes with, the most surprising aspect
he knows what raw dogging is.
Of this tour might just be these vacant beds.
So you can see everything with no bedding in here is vacant space.
So if we were to walk to the park right now, let's say you and I, say, hey, we got 20 vacant beds. If you guys are willing to follow the rules and regulations, you guys would take them in today? What is the likelihood any of them would take you up on that offer?
I would argue 99% chance that they're going to say no.
And what is the biggest reason they have for saying no? Because the bed's here, right? They don't have to be out in the wilderness.
The first thing they'll tell you is that there's rules. Okay, they've taught to think of those things as barriers. It's been repeated ad nauseum to them about how bad these things are.
If I come in and I fully do basically whatever you tell me to do, and I withstand the rules and regulations of the program, I will leave, get a job, end up in a house, back on my.
What are they teaching in studies? I'm sure they're like religious sermons.
So 33% of your people have succeeded in that capacity.
Not only that, after 30 days in this room, they will have been sober for 30 days, which means that they can pass a UA for a job.
Oh, shoot.
While there are empty beds available for people that are willing to partake in the programs and comply with the rules here, once these beds fill up, where else will the remaining homeless go? While being upset with the drug needles and foil left behind is completely understandable, the concept of finding someone for trying to survive in a tent outside seems downright evil. And if
it is a weird thing to find someone. It's like, oh, I don't have a home and I'm just sleeping outside. It's like, where else do I fucking go?
Town's goal is really to just keep these homeless people out of sight.
I'm sure they're about love, forgiveness, forgiving yourself, all those good things.
It seems like finding them will only keep them poor, on the streets, and at the parks their kids play at.